Hello there, it is my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of your favorite news program, Sunday Newswatch. We have on our lineup, as always, news from the state, national and international scenes. To cap it up is our social diary program tagged People and Events with Adibola Oshomoji as our guide. Hello, Adibola.
Hi, Dominic. Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are watching Ogun State Television. Second segment of the news, People and Event, promises to be interesting, and it's going to be bumper to bumper. To stay with us.
And I am Dominic Agbea. Anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. And just so you know, you can watch us live on Facebook at Ogun TV and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now to the news in full. The federal government has commenced steps to ensure that textbooks in mathematics, English language, and other core subjects reach learners and are properly tracked and maintained as part of efforts to tackle learning poverty in Nigeria. The initiative is being implemented through a series of workshops organized by the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Education under the Human Capital Opportunities for Prosperity and Equity program. The latest workshop, titled 5-Day Results Area 1 Regional Thematic Workshop on Book Supply, Chain and Track and Trace, commenced in Lagos at the weekend. The workshop brought together education officers from Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Benue, Plateau, Ekiti, Ondo, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, and Lagos states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Hope Edu is a federal government initiative supported by the World Bank to strengthen foundational learning through improved systems, institutional capacity, and technical support. Meanwhile, the federal government has announced grants of up to 5 million naira for young Nigerian entrepreneurs through the NIA X Cascador Founders Program, a 4-week initiative designed to support business development, investment readiness, pitch preparation, and mentorship. The program is being implemented by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development in partnership with Cascador and Safital, with 20 young founders set to be selected for the pilot cohort. At the end of the program, the 8 top performing founders will be eligible to receive up to 5 million naira each in non-dilutive fund from Cascador. The selected funding recipients will also receive an enterprise resource planning solution to help improve business management, structure, and growth. The program is designed to help early-stage entrepreneurs develop stronger business fundamentals, improve their investment readiness, and learn how to present their businesses effectively to potential investors. The true and lasting solutions can only be found to existential problems if when mankind connects with its creator and lives according to his divine guidance. The Amir of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat of Nigeria, Alhaji Olatoye Folorunso Aziz, made this known in a speech at the 50th Annual National Convention of Majid Ansarullah, the Male Elders Forum of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, held at Ake Palace Pavilion in Abeokuta. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
Majlis Ansarullah of Ahmadiyya Nigeria, as a forum of male elders of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community who are 40 years and above, has been doing a lot to promote the cause of Islam and spread the message of the Prophet as they converge in the capital city of Ogun State from across the country and beyond for the 50th Annual National Ijtema. The convention serves as a good platform to address the current challenges facing the world in line with the mission of the community, with faith-based solutions to global challenges, chosen as the theme. The Amir of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama of Nigeria, Alhaji Olatoye Folorunso Aziz, said the theme of the convention is apt at this time that attention needs to be focused on humanity as the centerpiece of every religion.
The discussion center around us realizing our Creator, who is Allah, or Olodumare, or God. We know that He created all of us. And so we are admonishing peace. That if we know we all belong to God, why should we be fighting ourselves?
National President of the Elders Association of Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, Alhaji Abiola Raji, said the convention is to bring out the beauty of Islam with a view to providing understanding on the roles that must be played by every believer, while Baba Adini of Yorubaland, Edo and Delta, Chief Sharafa Tunji Ishola, thanked members of the forum for providing a shining example for other believers.
We are able to pass the message of peace to the national level and at the international level, and to also propagate more the etiquette of Islam and the essence of Islam, which is love for all and hatred for none.
Government in its performance cannot really look after the whole citizens. They can help provision of education, provision of health and other things. But in day-to-day living, people must work and earn a living. So, and these are values that are better preached by faith-based organizations.
Delivering a lecture on the theme of the celebration, the guest lecturer, Olurotimi Timehin, posits that Nigeria's greatest opportunity may lie in its religious diversity, adding that the nation can become a model of interfaith peace building if Muslims, Christians, and adherents of African traditional religion can demonstrate genuine cooperation.
Most of these faith traditions, despite the fact that they have different theological frameworks, they often converge along the same ethical framework.
There were guru messages from the chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle, traditional rulers, representatives of Ansarullah Sadar of Ghana, Cameroon, Kenya, Benin Republic, Sierra Leone, tertiary institutions, and other Muslim communities.
Maybe a Muslim, maybe a traditionalist, you consider about fellow human beings.
There were recitations from Holy Quran, Ewi, display of martial arts, and others. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, has won all 13 chairmanship and 171 councillorship seats contested in the Ebonyi State local government elections. The results were announced by the chairman of the Ebonyi State Independent Electoral Commission, EBISEC, Mr. Patrick Eye, at the commission's office on Owe Road, Abakaliki. Among those declared winners was Mr. Osborne Humai, son of the Minister of Works, Senator Dave Humai, who emerged chairman-elect of Oazara local government area. Other chairmanship candidates declared elected include Mrs. Peace Agu Ishielu, Honorable Paul Ituma Oaku, Friday Honor Eza North, Chinedu Nkuma Eza South, Honorable Chido Wode Ikwo, Engineer Timothy Nkwachi Afiko, Ikechukwu Ogbofia Onitsha, amongst others. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to disclose and publish political contribution limits prescribed under the Electoral Act 2026 ahead of the 2027 general elections. SERAP made the demand in a statement signed and released by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, addressed to the INEC Chairman, Professor Joash Amukuta. The organization said the demand was particularly important ahead of the 2027 elections, noting that INEC had already released the notice of election and the timetable and schedule of activities for the polls. The organization urged INEC to urgently disclose whether the Commission has exercised its statutory power to prescribe limits on political contributions under Section 91 of the Electoral Act 2026, and if so, to publish the applicable limits and widely communicate them to political parties, candidates, donors, and the Nigerian public. Serap also asked the Electoral Commission to disclose the systems, personnel, and procedures it had put in place to monitor, investigate, and enforce compliance with political contribution and campaign expenditure limits during the ongoing preparations for the 2027 elections. The Gateway ICT Polytechnic Shapade chapter of the Yayi Progressives Movement Student Wing has been inaugurated with a call for students to take their rightful place in the political and developmental process of the country. Speaking during the inauguration, the state coordinator of the Yayi Progressive Movement Student Wing, Comrade Oladoto Kwale, described students as critical components of the political sphere of any developing economy. Ayodeji Tomoriolumi gives us more details.
The inauguration brought together students, members of the movement, and other stakeholders with speakers emphasizing the need for youth involvement in shaping the political future of Ogun State and Nigeria. The state coordinator of the student wing of Yayi Progressives Movement, Comrade Oladoto Okpaleye, stresses that beyond academic pursuits, students possess the energy, ideas, and leadership capacity required to contribute meaningfully to the governance and nation building. He also applauded the convener of Yayi Progressives Movement, Timetope Armstrong Akintunde, for what he described as his vision and commitment towards building an all-inclusive movement that gives young people, particularly students, a platform to participate actively in politics.
Students are stakeholders in the political space. They are equally as important as market women, labor unions, and other structures politically. If you look at the last election in Osun State, they form the majority of the voting population in any state.
The newly inaugurated executives and members of Gateway ICT Polytechnic chapter were charged to remain committed to the ideals of the movement while promoting unity, inclusiveness, and responsible political participation among students.
You are in school to be learning. You are in school to be corporate. You are not to be used for any harmful or bad things. That is why we are coming to mobilize you, to sensitize you on the reason why you have to partake in this election.
For the fact that you've been able to get to the level of higher institutions in Nigeria, you should be able to understand the fact that there is many tasks ahead for you to achieve. And we should see student leaders to be handling some key positions as far as the democratic process of the country is concerned.
This is a very big and enlarged mobilization. So now we can encourage them to behave very well and start moving. They are mobilized, they are made.
The campus chapter is expected to serve as a platform for mobilizing students, fostering political awareness, and advancing the objectives of the Yayi Progressives Movement among the student community.
On behalf of YPM movement, I will make sure I do some program. I'll make sure I mobilize enough of students that are capable to vote. I'll make sure I orientate some students to vote and to talk more or preach more about YPM movement.
The event ended with renewed calls on residents of Ogun State to support the re-election bid of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the governorship aspiration of Senator Solomon Olamilekun Adeola, which speakers described as vital to the continued growth and development of the state. Ayodeji Tomori Olunwumi, OGTV News.
The National Coordinator and Executive Director of the National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office, George Onwabueze, has continued to defend the legitimacy of the office, posting additional documents he said showed its links with the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Onwabueze, who posted the documents on his LinkedIn page, shared a letter dated July 19, 2010, purportedly issued by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The latest posts came amid an ongoing controversy over the status of the office following allegations by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission that it was a fake federal agency. The ICPC had said its investigation into the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council led to the discovery of the National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office. The Commission alleged that the office had been allocated space within the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation premises without presidential authorization and identified Onwabueze as its promoter. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 101-year-old great-grandmother for dealing in illicit drugs. The great-grandmother, identified as Esther Ogumabo, was arrested with retail sachet of skunk, a strain of cannabis weighing 90 grams, which she claimed she sold to locals. A statement by the agency's spokesman, Femi Babafemi, said the centenarian told operatives that she started engaging in illicit drug trade after a provisions shop was razed by fire. The statement partly reads, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have recorded significant breakthrough across the country, land and maritime borders, including the arrest of a 101-year-old great-grandmother for dealings in illicit drugs. In a related development, it said NDLA operatives in Akwa Ibom State, acting on credible intelligence, intercepted a wooden boat on the high seas on Friday, August 21, conveying illicit drugs to fishing settlements in the Republic of Cameroon. Across the world, governments are drawing a line on how young people use social media. The UK government has now moved to restrict social media access for teenagers, following the lead of Australia and growing list of countries citing mental health, cybercrime, and online abuse as key concerns. But in Nigeria, where social media drives both innovation and crime, the debate is heating up. Should Nigeria copy this law, or will it kill the digital dreams of a tech-savvy generation? Taiwo Fabajo reports.
Cyberbullying to dangerous online challenges and fraudulent activities like Yahoo, the risks facing Nigerian teenagers online are growing every day. Governments in the UK and Australia have now decided that the only way to keep children safe is to restrict their access to social media until they are older. In Nigeria, many parents agree that something must be done. They argue that weak parenting and a lack of digital education have led too many young people exposed to adult content, gambling, and online crimes. These supporters believe that if the government passes a law to ban underage access, it will force platforms like TikTok and Instagram to take responsibility for protecting our children.
Majority of the crime you see people commit today, it's by imitation on what they see. This kind of a law will help them to know or not to be honestly exposed to those things they cannot manage.
There is a big abuse of the social media and controlling it, the usage for underage, especially people under, in fact, I can extend it to under 17 or 18, because a lot of distraction from their studies.
But there's a loud pushback from the youth. Many young Nigerians say that social media is not just a playground, it is their classroom. Thousands of Nigerian teenagers use this platform to learn coding, graphic design, and digital marketing. They argue that if the government cuts off access,
They will be cut off from the global economy.
Personally, I think it's not a good idea in the Nigerian economy because we all know about how the creators economy is growing, and if they ban it, that means teenagers would have to wait a longer period of time to key into and be able to express their creativity, because currently there's a rise of social media influencers, both young, and they're doing great things.
I feel like there are more pros than cons to like we the Gen Zs, because first off it helps us like communicate better. We get information way more easier than the normal archaic, that's the old way of getting information.
I feel like
And to this sad one, veteran Nollywood actor Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, has died at the age of 66 after battling cancer. The actor reportedly died on Sunday following his struggle with the illness. A video circulating on social media captured his daughter, Kira Taiwo, in tears as she announced her father's death, saying repeatedly, "My daddy is dead." The development comes days after Kira and her sister Aluma revealed that their father had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and appealed for public support as the family sought treatment options. Hassan was a prominent figure in the Nigerian film industry, particularly known for his roles in Yoruba language productions. We pray for the repose of his soul and fortitude for the family he left behind. From now, we now move to people and events.